and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. Welcome in. We do have a lot of time, or not a lot of time, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about in this live. I will give an update in a second about my son. He's still admitted into the hospital. My mom pulled the grandma card because he's doing a lot better. He's eating right now. They can't find anything other than he was malnourished from being sick, and all of his levels are coming back up. They're keeping him again, but my mom kicked, I mean, if you want to call it like that, she might as well threw us out of the hospital. But she told us a few short minutes ago that she's spending the night with him, and we know everything that needs to be done. We had all the stuff that were tested today, and she basically kicked us out of the hospital, and she wouldn't take no. So she played the grandma card. She goes, you need to go home and do a live, clean your house up, get everything, we started disinfecting the house with everything. Julie's carpet cleaning. So then she kicked me out of the house after I helped, because I vacuumed the house, moved all the stuff around. And so I find my way here. So I will, I'll give a longer update in just a sec, or a more, just so straight to the point. But the bottom line is he's still admitted, but he's doing a lot better. He started eating, and yeah, so definitely trending up. So we will, I'll continue to update everybody as I can and when I have more information, but as of right now, he's doing a lot better. And I thank everybody for the consistency. So with XRP, you want it to drop, somebody said. Well, unfortunately, for anybody who listened to the update this morning, as I know I haven't been able to do a live the last 3 days, but for anybody who listened this morning, I talked about the descending triangle we were in, and the technical target on a breakup was 54.07 cents. And I also talked about the crypto guru who's on YouTube, just to talk about somebody I actually do like on YouTube, but I thought he was making a very bad mistake yesterday when he sold out of his 2 Bitcoin trade. It's up about 12,000, but there was a support level around 50. See, I wouldn't have sold Bitcoin where we were at until we broke this level, because it looked like a bottoming formation. So why sell? He sold at 61,200. Why not just let it come down, confirm the breakdown, and really, and I'm going to go from 61,000. That's a 1.2% drop from there, but cut it back another 200 bucks. It's only about 0.8% he had to sit through. So I understand it's a 2 Bitcoin trade, but that's somebody I would recommend everybody watching, because he is a venture capitalist. He talks Bitcoin and some of the other ones, but mostly Bitcoin. But you can see from the perspective of somebody who's dealing with a lot of money. Like his account has like 600 and something thousand. It was up to 9 something, but it is what it is. But we'll go over Bitcoin. We'll go over XRP. As right now, it's signaled to move to 54.07 cents again. And we can get that confirmation with a pushback over the rising channel resistance / support line. And that confirmation can only come if we get up above 52.7 cents. Right now, we are signaling a breakout, but whether or not this follows through or not and pulls into this nice W reversal, only time will tell. And the 4 hourly, it looks like it's breaking bullish for XRP. And as I've talked about, the XRP Bitcoin pairing, I think, is at a premium, or not a premium. I think it's at a, well, I guess a premium, but I think it's a steal right now. I think it's a steal. I've been building back into this, and I'm very excited today that today I should be able to get, and I usually buy it around 9, 10 o'clock, maybe a little later, but it looks like we're going to get about a 2% discount on today's purchase. So that'll be something nice, but everybody needs to pay attention. There's been 9 consecutive red candles in the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and it has signaled a bottoming phase. So it's going to be very interesting how many people jump along that ship with me, but we'll go over that a little bit today as well. Obviously, Bitcoin being up 1,400 points. Did you hear about Quant? Like Quant, the QUANT, real Quant, or the other Quant that's like 13 cents that is QNT or whatever it is on some other exchanges. I'm sure you mean the real Quant. Yeah, I've heard of it. I love it. It's just too high price for me at this particular moment, my friend. A little too high for me. I would have loved to have seen it a little bit cheaper, but That's something I think runs pretty much the whole entire cryptocurrency as you see it, but never gets talked about. That's a great buy at $55. That's a beautiful buy. JW, welcome in. Little Big Man, he says. I don't have my phone on me, so I apologize. Tanya May, welcome in, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army, along with JW for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Let me do the intro, and then we're going to get into the charts. Also, I tried, and I begged, and I pleaded before earnings about B2 Gold. I said they don't often throw you easy money, right? I said this on air. The easiest money I'm ever going to make is on B2 Gold. When I bought it back, I told everybody at $2.50. It made the perfect W reversal, went to 248 or 247. I bought 250 right when it hit it. And B2 Gold beat earnings, which we'll get into. And now all the way from $2.50 already just from that point. And it also came down and touched it again. So there was a second opportunity about 2 days later. Right now it's up 10.8%. And you say how long? 4 days? 3 days since I talked about it? So, and I told everybody I bought 2,864 shares. And yes, as some people brought to my attention, Tom, that's $7,200. Correct. I emptied the piggy jar, or the piggy bank, and I like B2 Gold. It's always plus 6% dividend. When I bought it, it was 6.43%. But I like easy money. I like easy money. This week, I haven't been able to earn much revenue. I haven't been able to do lives. And I haven't been able to trade anything of relevance. So that trade alone, just with B2 Gold, that's up just in the time I bought it, over $700 right now, almost $800. And you're talking 4 days. Yes, it was a lot of money I put on it, but there's opportunities in the market. I will continue to say it. When everybody's afraid, the whole world's afraid of the mining sector right now. I've been cleaning house. Cleaning house. Everybody's afraid of crypto right now, especially on this drop. Especially when XRP dipped back down to 42. But because of where we're positioned, nobody's looking at it right now. If XRP does, in fact, pull this reversal, and it actually manages to break out of here, it's going to be a rather nice push up if it can get out of that 5407 area. It's actually right about 54. I don't want to say 07 anymore, because now I can actually put it at 50 on this new move. So if it can push back over, yes, we've got to get over some resistance. But look at that 3-hour time frame, broke bullish over the relative strength index. 4 hourly's teasing bullish. Beautiful engulfing candle. I hope everybody is really paying attention to this setup. And if you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so that YouTube recommends this live. I'm very humbled to see so many people here as well already. That's incredible. I didn't know how the analytics would treat me because I haven't been here in a few days. The ABCD pattern I think is appropriate, yes. I've been just saying wave 1 to 2, 2 to 3. There's a chance, like I've been saying, the wave 3 to 4 correction has possibly bottomed now and it's reversing. If that happens, we would only know. And excellent, Devin, good comment about the ABCD pattern. I absolutely agree with that. UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Man, it feels good just to talk to everybody. All of our friends are here right now. Let's see. Yeah, so this very well could start pushing back up. Chris says there's something is wrong. We should be at $1.20 right now. Well, yes and no. You are right, though. A break out of this cup and handle formation, my friend, you're absolutely right. If we break bullish out of the cup and handle, the technical target's $1.20. As simply as I can put it. And maybe in today's terms, it comes down just a tiny bit. So, still $1.20. Okay, fine. $1.18 in today's terms. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's why we're looking for this rejection on the RSI, and we could have a big move. Otherwise, if we do lose at any time that 50.8 cents, anything under 50.8 cents can absolutely be a drop, which you wouldn't expect it in a cup and handle formation. But it's definitely something to pay attention to, because you would know if something's gone horribly wrong. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. You're not trying to scare yourself, but you would absolutely know if something's going wrong if you break this formation and can't get it back. Let's see. Yes, I'm glad Jeff commented about Quant to somebody who asked, because it is absolutely a great project. Haircut by the end of the week? Probably not. I mean, you know, it is getting rather long, huh? But we'll see. The only thing I hope by the end of the week is my son continues to get better and he can come back home and we can continue therapy, you know, and stuff that he needs from the you know, because he's going through a lot of therapies and stuff. He was supposed to start a program for occupational physical therapy. He's already doing, but speech programs to help him exploring more ways to eat different foods. So it's it was supposed to be a big week this week. Well, it ended up being a big week for a lot of different reasons, but I like to believe everything happens for a reason. So I believe things played out like they should have, and you know, I believe in the higher powers. So you know me, God has a plan for everything, and he has his hands over my son. So I know, I can see it. I can see the work in action. Things are about to get a lot more interesting. So anyhow, let me do the intro. Good evening. 6:06. I don't even know if I did this already. I very well might have. Good evening. 6:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, May 9th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Devin, thanks for sending the first donation of the night, that $1.99. I greatly appreciate that. And also you being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So bags. Simon, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 months. I appreciate the thoughts and prayers with my family. And I can't remember the name, I'll say it in a sec, who asked. But just a quick update now that I see there's 113 people out here. And make sure to hit that like button if you respect the time I'm putting in. Or not even respect it, just appreciate the fact that I'm here. And we're covering this. Or if you just think that we're about to have a breakout with XRP. Or if you think it's a steal in the XRP Bitcoin pairing, I would love a like. So I'll update my son for everybody one time. He's still in the hospital. He's admitted. It's his third night he's going to be there. All of his labs are coming back to, you know, they're coming up. He's still on some IVs, you know, to replenish and stuff like that. Ultrasounds are all fine. Sugar levels are all fine. So they're not worried about diabetes, none of that stuff. They did exams with his throat. All that came back. They've done stomach exams, ultrasounds. They're not finding anything. So all that is good. The reason I'm home right now, I just got home. My mom kicked us out of the hospital after the last doctor of the day talked to us, reassured us, you know, basically that everything is good. And they were talking about, you know, when he gets discharged, the plan when we go home. And I just told him he's not going home yet because I still have unresolved business that I need to figure out. And so they're starting to talk, you know, release and stuff like that, possibly tomorrow or the next day. So my mom said where she was staying, and anybody who knows my mom, grandma is a tough one. And her best asset is times like this with her kids and grandkids. She takes control. The last couple days she was at the hospital for a few hours, but we sent her home at night because there's no, but today she came up there and said, you guys are going home tonight. Once because everything we knew was getting, you know, we at least were getting good news. I scheduled, you know, for a nutritionist and things like this for my son as well. And some outpatient stuff that we're going to set up so that, you know, he can start to, because he's developmentally delayed, so we're trying to give him every opportunity we know and not worry about the finances. How about that? We've got insurance for him, but still, not everything is always covered when it comes to the delay stuff. But we're going to give him every opportunity to succeed as he gets older. No matter what that means, I don't care what it means. I'm going to do whatever I need. So, you know, there might be days here when I'm taking him to doctors with Julie where my timing's going to be off a little bit. You know, so you guys are just going to have to be patient sometimes like you already are. And, you know, I take my role very seriously. I'm not like a normal dad. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm much more a mom than a dad. Even though Julie's a much better mom than I am. But I just have that bone. I don't know. It's just something about me. Julie actually caught on to this. The night before we took him, Julie wanted to, she was thinking we should take him. And then we decided, because he was still drinking, that we couldn't do it another day though. And we didn't care what anybody else was saying. And while Julie was out here with my mom, I packed all the stuff and I just said, Julie, and she goes, what are you doing? I said, you're right, we need to go. And, you know, do I wish we would have done it, you know, 16 hours earlier? Like we brought him when we were supposed to, so there's no physical damage to kidneys, pancreas, liver, nothing. So, am I mad that we didn't bring him in earlier? No. Am I sad a little bit? Because I think we could have ended the suffering maybe a little bit sooner. But it's a tough call, and at least we made the right call. So, it's, you know, it's a tough situation, but, you know, you guys know my emotion. I'm Britain with emotion all over my face, good, bad, or indifferent. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see so many people reached out and were sending me messages, and were, you know, not just in the comments, but even some people reached out in my email. Some people reached out in other weird ways. It was pretty cool to see. JW says, I love Queen Maya. Yes, indeed, she is awesome. I thank you, Tanya. Says I'm a good dad, and Julie is a good mom. Yes, she is. She is. She's like a mom and dad too, though. Well, I put that because of her last marriage. She basically had to do everything. So, you know, it's pretty cool what we have. So anyhow, it's a good update, but obviously he's still under watch to make sure, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do after. But right now he's good. He's happy. Well, not so happy being in the hospital. Like I said, he's eating some foods, not all, but he's drinking, eating. He's put on about almost 1 kilogram while he's been in the hospital now, so that's a great sign. So yeah, so I think that's about as good of an update as I can get. So I thank everybody who's asking, but now let's get back to business, because business as well, we have a lot of business to talk about. And everybody, can I ask everybody, we have 68 likes, 130 people watching. We'll see if that improves as we go on, but I want to know in the comments, the XRP Bitcoin pairing, are you watching this as closely as I am? And if you're like, how do I trade XRP or the Bitcoin pairing? Well, if you're just looking to trade XRP, video description below and or pinned comments is BITUNIX. I encourage you to trade there because they have low spot and leverage the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I've seen in the USA. They don't make you use a VPN anywhere. You can do that USA or abroad. They welcome everybody. So whether you're in China, Australia, Israel, anywhere, our audience that's out there in Australia or the UK, all of you, you can use it. You don't need a KYC unless you're sending or receiving from a bank account, or if you just want to do some identity so that, you know, you can verify who you are. And then in the description below or pinned comments, as well as MEXC, that's where I trade the XRP Bitcoin pairing. New users in the USA unfortunately can't use it, but if you're already downloaded, you can still use it, and I was. So fortunately I can do it. But the XRP Bitcoin pairing, what you would do is you buy Bitcoin, and then you would go under the XRP Bitcoin pairing and buy instead of sell. You would buy, and then you're betting against the fact that XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin, not just today, but we're talking about in the weeks and months to come. Because when I make these positions, yeah, I bought it not expecting to sell it after buying at 808 when it perfectly touched resistance. So it gave me an opportunity to sell it. I sold at 896, but it hit 902 3 times. So I decided to sell, and then I said I'd buy back when I found the appropriate time. I started buying anywhere between 830 and 842. Yesterday was about 837 at the SAT level. Today when I buy it, I usually do it anywhere between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. I like to see it after market flips and things like that. And it's just so that I don't get too caught up in the price. It's more about timing it every day where I like to buy. So, but one of the things that I will point out here, very, 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 very important. Daily doesn't really look like much, right? Daily's like, okay. Because like I said, we are, and don't overlook this next fact in a second. But 795 is where my position, I'm hoping it allows me to build all the way into 795 SAT level. And that's 0.0000794 or 795. I'm hoping that it continues to do that. But with what XRP is doing, I have a very strange suspicion that this could reverse faster. And if you look at it, the reason I think it could consolidate, but it probably won't come all the way down, we have a nice inverted hammer in the weekly. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you see in the RSI here? It's unbelievable. Look at the weekly. We broke bullish in the RSI, and that is a huge rising formation. We broke bullish just now this week, or last week, but when this formally now, we are in a bullish move. We have finally broke bullish for the first time, and we can count this out together. We can absolutely count this out together, and you can see why I don't care about any other trades in crypto right now. Obviously, I still own XRP and some XRP healthcare, which we can go over a little bit today, because it's been doing spectacular. But as far as this goes, I am starting to learn so much when it comes to the pairings, and now I'm learning how to not necessarily get caught up in buying something and being so mad if something goes down, or being so afraid of it, because look at this. With the XRP Bitcoin pairing, this is a way that even if the market's going down, and a bull flag is set up here as well, just so you know, broke out of a bull flag. It's in a descending structure, but it did break out of a short-term bull flag in the weekly. And it's a very small 3-week time frame, but it did set up a small bull flag. It's broke the top side, it's back testing. But if we look, and how many in the audience are into the XRP Bitcoin pairing? I'm just curious. 50 people didn't hit the like button, but maybe 50 of you would comment about this, or one of you, or anybody. I want to know what people think about the pairing, or if it's catching everybody off guard every time I talk about it. So we haven't broke bullish in the RSI until where we did. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is weekly. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. The last weekly that we were bullish was 35 weeks ago. Shoot, somebody told me that their husband was the same way as me, and I really wanted to read that comment because I liked what they said. Darn it, I don't have my phone on me because it was charging. If you made that comment, I just want to recognize your name. I really appreciate the fact that you have an understanding of maybe a little deeper of who I am, because you're married to somebody who takes that role very seriously as well, and I applaud him. I love hearing that so much, because I think a lot of people take for granted the dad role. Just my observation. Let's see. Man, I might get my wish with this XRP Bitcoin pairing here in the short term. Jason said, I tried the pairing this morning but wasn't sure, so I sold out with $1 profit. Yeah, the one thing I can tell you right now is with this pairing, you have to be prepared if it breaks this support at 825 approximately. No, sorry, that's bad technicals. Yeah, 825. You have to be prepared for the retest of the breakout. So when I was saying the last couple of days that I'm buying down to 793, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. So from 84, 828, or 84, I bought at 842, 840, 834, 838, and 836. Now if I can buy today, it'll be under 8.3. So I'm just trying to push this in for when the breakout happens. And like I said, the weeklies flip bullish for the first time in like 35 weeks. So you can put that in perspective. I mean, that's a long fucking time ago. Excuse my French. Marie said, that was me, Tom. My husband is very attentive as a dad. He is amazing also. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, love, for re-putting that. I appreciate you retyping that. I think I love more than anything seeing people talk about the dads like that, and the moms obviously out there, but I already know I have a very loving audience from the moms. But I see some spectacular dads, and some of the feedback I've got back from some of you's just been, you know, like they say, sometimes there's comfort when you're around the people you know. And it's funny because I've never actually met any of you. So it's kind of ironic how that works. So for the ones asking, yeah, I'm looking to buy it down to this area, and I'm not looking for sell. I'm not looking for a sale here. If it were to drag me down, and I'm just going to be honest with everybody, if this were to drag me down and it drops 17%, I'm not in an area to sell anymore. The only reason I did is because it gave me an opportunity when I made a quick, what was this? And I told everybody I would when it hit 902 if it didn't have the correct consolidation before it moved to breakout. I bought it 808, so close enough. And I sold out at 896, so I'll put it at 893 to make up for the discrepancy and then a little bit more. So 10.75%, and that was in a matter of like a day or two. So that was only about, let's keep saying only. No, it was $260 something. And then I decided I had made some profit on MEXC. I sold it down, and I have about, right now I've got about $270 to the side still, and just over $1,300 in. FE4, like, that's fantastic with SHX. That's fantastic. Unfortunately, I was not able to do any more digging or any more buying with that. I kind of lost my football for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think we were doing very good with that, with the SHX, because we stumbled upon, well, you led me into the fact that it was on the verge of a breakout. So I shared it with the audience, and hopefully everybody who was setting up for that got a piece of that. I tried to pairing this. Okay, good. Jason, I'm glad I answered your question now. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year. So this is the XRP Bitcoin pairing in a nutshell. We basically need to break this formation. And we had a little overzealous breakdown, but nothing major. It actually did exactly what it needed to. And if you look at this, that could be a very nice reversal if this finishes off. But I am looking for the possible retest. And what I had set up before, what looked like the back test part, that's because it was breaking out and in a smaller time frame. You can set it up how I had it when I started, where it shows the back test. But this is just the longer dragged out version. And it shows you more that you'd be stuck more in this formation. And it technically, that's what I was saying. I wanted to open it up because I'm willing to write it down. So even if the 796 level breaks, I wanted to open it up so you guys could see how wide this actually is in the consolidation. So this is a much better way to look at it from that perspective. But just to give you the benefit of, hey, we had a resistance here, resistance there, just so you can see what I was it's actually up a little bit. This is what I was aiming for if it was in like this kind of descending consolidation. So you're looking for a hold here, but what I've done is expanded it for you so it's easier for you to see what the consolidation we've already had on the touch of resistance. Basically, you're trying to signal a breakout by pushing over, and back test and hold is the signal. We've already done it once. Now we're trying to make sure we hold. Could have a quick reversal here. Your confirmation can only come now on a breach of 882 and a hold. So some people might choose to trade it at the 882 level and try to catch the bullish push, which now we don't even need the 902 because now we have the updated pattern. See how that works? So that's why it's good to do it in real time. So just pay attention, because I think there's going to be opportunity. And obviously the weekly's pushing bullish, but that doesn't mean we can't drop down here. We've still gotten the weekly candle, and it won't affect the RSI at all for the next, it's still 74 hours. There's 74 hours that can still do whatever it wants. Nice inverted hammer here, it looks like. And this could technically, you don't really want it to pull down much farther. Otherwise, it could start to put into a small reversal candle. But it looks like we do have a nice bull flag that formed on the drop. It's just a matter of, can we break out now? Or is it going to be, a bigger consolidation? I honestly don't care either way, because I'm going to ride it to where it needs to go, because I can see what's going on in the weekly and monthly. That's a very overdue breakout coming. Now let's get back into XRP. XRP is at 51.82 cents right now, up 0.25%. It's had a nice move today, as everybody knows in this morning's update. If you watch it, it wasn't all too popular received from what I seen. Had about 850 views. But I did talk about how I said XRP holders, I think that they're wrong. XRP hasn't broken down yet. And I made a very strong argument in the opening update of what I thought was going to happen. And I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm just trying to say the most likelihood that I think is going to happen. And it still broke out over this spot. I guess we could do this just to give it more leniency so we don't wait for a 5407. But it is signaling, if it can hold this, that the technical move is 8 or 538. Now, could it have a back test here and try to hold? Yeah, absolutely. I would honestly expect it at around the 515 level. And it's trying to put in a nice W reversal. So I hope that helps with XRP. That's what we're looking at in the technical target on a drop down right here, 48.5 cents. I didn't put the arrow there because I didn't want to confuse everybody. I just wanted the target. But because it was projecting to the upside right now on a temporary breakout, I put the actual target on the screen so everybody could see. But I also have the breakdown target still, and that's at 48.57 cents. I did not check SHX yet, but I certainly can real quick because I know I've been watching this now for everybody as well. I just haven't been around because of my son the last couple days for lives because he's been in the hospital. SHX is down or up 28.6% today. This was an absolute, in my opinion, and this is the unfortunate part. I was watching this very closely, and we were waiting for this breakout to get the confirmation. And unfortunately for me, it broke out while I was up at the hospital, so to the top side. But that's okay. I want to update the audience too, though, because if you didn't realize it by now, I can honestly say I respect you more than all of my peers combined. And you can read into that for what you want. But there's a reason why I'm here all the time and dedicated. So I have noticed that, Jeff. I have noticed that. XRP future millionaire for me, I mean, some people can equate that to me just becoming a millionaire just from the XRP holdings. But as I've stated from the beginning, to be a millionaire in XRP, I believe it's going to hit $10. I believe that's the minimum price target that one day, and I don't know what year it's going to be, but one day it's going to at least hit that $10 barometer. Whether it goes into $3, $4, $5, or $100 or more, that's up to speculation. But I personally believe it will hit $10. So 100,000 tokens if you're looking at it for that. But I'm looking at it in more of a regard to XRP, some of our other holdings. But XRP is what brought us all together and brought me into this space. And it's allowed me to take advantage of it as well. So I'm a millionaire, future millionaire, which will happen. You guys just continue to see the progress on a daily basis of what I'm able to achieve together with you guys. But I would say if you want to be real, you're going to need 100,000 tokens. You're going to need 100,000 tokens for when it does hit that $10 mark. I don't believe it's an if, I believe it's when. Now, there's a very big if it'll ever go to 100 and all that. I know it's built in for 10 bucks. Absolutely, Al. That's what I'm saying. The chart allows me to believe $10, but like I've always said, not just the adoption, but once they give us, I'm not so much worried about the adoption. I'm more interested in the fact when they give the green light to institutions to do as they please, and it's a non-security towards them, we're going to get some kind of move that we're not used to, that we are not used to. So I'm going to be happy no matter how it plays out, up, down, left, or right. At the end of the day, it's all one big emotional, roller coaster. Now, real quick before I forget, B2 Gold, I promised I would touch on this. And yes, JW, I remember the beginning of Ryan, everybody but well, those predictions come from the ones who don't study technical analysis. But I'm not saying that it'll end at 10. I'm just saying I am comfortable in what I see that it will hit that number. I am very confident from what I see and everything I know that it can hit that within certainty. I can't guarantee it because nothing's guaranteed, but I believe it's going to hit $10 based on every factor I've seen. Where they get $100, it's unfounded. Where they get $1,000, it's speculation and conjecture. But everybody, like you just said, wow, that's all. Do you realize on 10,000 tokens that we paid $3,500 for, it turns into 100 grand? Sure, that's all, but you just made $100,000 approximately. So it might be just off, but what would 100 grand do instead of 3,500 you put into it? I'm pretty sure it would change your look on the outlook. So yeah, it might only be $10, but 100 grand on top of what you're already doing. Whew. And everybody always asks me, Tom, what's your plan? My plan is simply, when it gets to a certain point, I will pull some money out, but I'm still going to have 10,000 tokens. So do the math. That's why I always say 10. I have more than 10,000, a little bit over, but I always say 10,000. Oh, it's going to be explosive when Ripple IPOs. It really will. All right, anyhow, with the B2 Gold, we've already had a technical breakout from where we were at. And now we have a technical move up. As long as it finishes up, we still have to finish approximately the move up to about $2.90. So you're really looking for the continuation up to right here on this bull flag that's breaking bullish. We're looking for the move up to about, I'm going to lower it a little bit actually. $2.90 is where I'm targeting for this move up, but we will most definitely hit that downtrending resistance in time in this pattern formation. But what happened with B2 Gold is, anybody who's watching right now, did anybody buy B2 Gold a couple days ago when I told you that I rebought back in before earnings at $2.50, and I had bought 2,864 tokens, over $7,200 worth. Hopefully there was one person who's seen something and they're like, I trust what he's saying, and he put his own money at that expense. So what happened was B2 Gold beat earnings. Their standardized was 0.03, reported was 0.06, the estimate was 0.051. They beat earnings by 18.19%, or by 0.009. And they beat revenue. They were estimating $436.179 million. They reported $461.444 million. They beat earnings with a surprise of positive $25.265 million, or better than, they beat earnings projections or revenue projections by 5.79%. So very impressive, especially in the environment we're in. And that's only going to get better as the mining shares start to reflect the price of not just gold with B2 Gold, but also silver with the new upkeep. Because silver, for B2 Gold, it's mining its most silver it's ever done. And its mine that it's most recently acquired was very strong in silver deposits, and they were not expecting it. So that was the reason why I targeted that company, along with, I love its history. I love its cash on hand. I love the fact that they're the highest paying dividend, bar none, I believe, as of right now in the mining sector. And they were at 6.4. I'm going to assume it's around the 6 point. Well, I didn't look today, but it always goes down a little bit. It usually settles anywhere between 5.2 and 5.6 when it's up, but it has been known to go around 4.5 when it's up towards the $7 mark. They updated the the projected target from $7.25 is the target that the experts have put on for B2 Gold to hit in the future. They raised that the projection from $7.25 to $7.50. So even the experts thought they lowballed it, even with it being, you know, $5 a share under it. They still or $4.25. They still decided to update earnings, so, or the expected target. And everybody, pay attention to silver, please. Look at this inverse head and shoulders that it's finally breaking out of, and look what gold did in the exact same formation. Oh, sorry, silver right here is breaking out. That was the silver trust, but the silver inverse head and shoulder is playing out. You should be coming short term up to almost 29 bucks, and then more. But look what gold did after the inverse head and shoulders broke out. It's starting to push up as well. So this is going to be something here. And this is more of a W reversal. They had nice. This is something. It's going to be something here. Something big's playing out right now. Now, you could get a rejection up here and come back down, but nice bull flag set up. So that's all I wanted to show in precious metals. So I hope everybody, you know, was able to benefit from any of that. So obviously people will leave when I talk about that stuff, but if you want to talk about the most undervalued sector, bar none, not even crypto can claim this. You got to look at the mining sector. It's been beaten up. So let's see. Wow, that the journey can. Yes, it does, JW. Oh, that's true. Well, if it makes you feel any better towards my journey to be a millionaire, my house is valued at 200 and so you're saying the house included. My house is valued this year, which is overvalued because I believe it's only worth like 190 at current times. They marked it at 232.5, and you know, I don't ever say this often, but I've already paid my house off at 40. So I always say, what can trading do for everyone? You know, there is some benefits to understanding things for years and years and years. There's a reason why I was able to do that full time and quit my job. The only thing I don't have is insurance, but I was 1099 before anyhow, so they didn't offer it anyhow. So, you know, so yeah, that's part of the asset as well. I agree. Funny, because there is a lot of financial freedom in that for sure. I'm not gonna lie, there is. The only thing that I didn't realize is how much my taxes were going to keep going up every year because the price appreciation is just going out of control. But, you know, that left me very low cash on hand between, you know, my investments, my precious metals, and everything else. I am very cash poor. Very cash poor, but would you rather be cash rich or asset rich? I used to be no assets at all, none. And when I was 35. So like I said, what you're seeing is just the beginning phases. It's only been like 5 years for me since I started flipping it around. No, maybe 36 in 2020. 2019, 2020 area is when I started to actually understand what I was seeing. So that's but yeah, it's taken time, but I'm trying to pass on. I've made a promise, not just to myself, but to the man upstairs, that if I was put in a position, I would do everything I know for free. I just had to find a way, and something that I could prove with a track record, but it was going to take time, and that's why I said I'm not done proving myself in YouTube yet. Yeah, I might have 21,400 subscribers, blah, blah, blah. I've lost, like, you won't believe it, but since I'm not even going to go into it, but I'm down like 15 subscribers this week, so, which I actually take as a badge of honor, because I think the more people that unsubscribe, it shows a lack of faith in XRP as well, because if you're not interested anymore, of course you're going to unsubscribe. So it's been an interesting week. No, you're right, Jeff. It does give you a lot of leverage. I'm not trying to borrow against it, and not at the moment. But I know I do have a lot of collateral. And now my credit score is the highest it's ever been. It used to be under, like, again, if you want to talk about, I've been through the ringer just like everybody, and maybe some of you are watching right now. My credit was under 500 after I broke my back. I went way into debt. It took years and years to figure it out. Now my credit's at 780. I can't even believe how high it is. I've never had credit so high. 787 now, and it made me fall off my seat. So anyhow, let's keep going. XRP is at 52 cents. We're going to try to break bullish out of the short-term bull flag. I am pretty confident that we should come up here to this at least 527 and retest, but the technical target up here is up to about 53.8 cents. 53.8 cents. The hospital was, in fact, cool with the no blah, blah, blahs. We haven't had any issues. Yes, when we try to go to pediatricians and stuff, most of them won't accept us, which is another problem for our son, because a lot of people outright refuse seeing him, which isn't fair. But yeah, the hospital has made nothing. They've just said good every time we've said it. When we say he's not blah, 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 all their response has been good. You know, so they haven't, honestly, it's been the easiest. We have not had one bad experience, not one so far. So it's been, and for T, he's been through a lot of trauma, starting at 6 months old when he broke his leg, so, in a car accident, his femur. As all of you know who are watching, who are fans. So it's been a positive experience in that regard. I know, Jorge, for real. But no, but honestly, Jorge, you know, we took him to the emergency room and they had to admit him, so. But yeah, the one we take him to up at Beaumont over here, they've been really good about all that. In Royal Oak, so. That's why I don't go to Henry Ford or the new, what has taken its place. They're, yeah. So anyhow, but you just got to do what you believe in and try to do the best you can for your kids, so. Even if you come short sometimes, because I'm not perfect. But, you know, I grow and I learn. 51.79. This is a nice push up here. Absolutely, Jorge. They really do like to discriminate. It's unfortunate. Trust me, me and Julie have been turned away from more pediatricians and doctors' offices and all this stuff than you would care to want to know. Honestly, it makes it very difficult. Oftentimes find ourselves at urgent care if something's wrong with them, just so we can get some kind of, you know, make sure it's nothing real serious. And then when we have to trust our gut like we did this time, we just took them to emergency and said, fuck it. We'll deal with the consequences later. So, JW said, Tom, you are my mentor, real talk. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, my brother. That's what I'm trying to be. Huh? Oh, you did? Okay, so you did a very thorough job in his room. I've almost been on 50 minutes. Yeah, Tanya, unfortunately it is. It is, but I'm not gonna subject him to something just because it makes things easier for us. So that's where it comes, being the parent, and you got to take the brunt. Like, yeah, do I suffer with a lot of PTSD from my past trauma? You better fucking believe it. Worse than I've ever let on to the community. You know, it's a good time to talk about that. You know, for my car accidents and the trauma of, I had, you know, frontal lobe damage in a car accident, broke my back at 23 in a car accident. 26, somebody else caused me to get into another bad accident. None of it's ever been my fault, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Closed head injury in that one, so I had frontal lobe damage on the left side. I had forgetfulness for a pretty long time. I couldn't remember short-term memory. So just where I've made it over the last couple decades is, it's remarkable. Like when I look at it, and I want my son to achieve even more than I have. Sure, he's developmentally late and he's behind. Sure, he's got troubles, but I think he's going to come out of it. So, but with the PTSD, it's really bad. I know, but I have that's something I struggle with more than anything else. I have very bad PTSD when it comes to certain things, and not for hospitals for myself, not hospitals or doctors and things like that, but for my son because of what he went through. But I have the PTSD of just everything, and it causes me to be oversensitive. And one of the problems with my frontal lobe damage, and I don't know if I've ever told the audience this, I only produce serotonin at 25% a normal person. So maybe that could explain my up and down moods to maybe some of you. When I'm very upbeat or very down sometimes, I can't regulate my serotonin. And they tried to do it through drugs. They tried to put me on a bunch of different things, and when I was over 10 years ago, I realized, well, yeah, 10 years, I realized what they were doing. And I took myself even off of everything. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, what? And then you realize that you become a shell of who you were when you're on all these psychotropics and stuff. But I don't want to talk about any of the main stuff because, you know, then I'll get banned. But, yeah. So it took me, you know, it's been something. It's been something. Are you able to pull up the XLM/SHX pairing on a DEX? Like the Stellar X market or Stellar term? I don't know. Yes, that explains. that is very true. That is very true, Tanya. It does explain, Bob. Yeah, and I went through, just so everybody knows, I went through from 23 to 30. This is not a joke. 23 to, after I met Julie, from 23 to 35, I had to go to physical therapy at first, 4 days a week, 3 hours a day to try to walk, because I couldn't walk normal. I had to use a cane, could barely get up. And I decided to do shock therapy to burn off my nerve endings. I did not know it was a trial study of less than 1 million people, and it got taken off the market because they felt like it was more torture than anything else. But it helped me. Well, maybe it didn't. Maybe it made me crazy too. But it allowed me to disassociate, and this is bad too, pain from reality when it comes to my back. So it'll be on fire and stuff. I'm like, it hurts, but, you know, I mean, I guess I'm okay. So it allowed me to get up and walk, and then I went through 12 years of physical, I know, it's crazy. From 23 to almost 30, 12 years of physical therapy. It is what it is. I went through about 12 years of physical therapy. I had to go 3 to 4 times a week. So that's how I spent a decade trying to get better. And then, you know, I was like 260 pounds when I got in my accident, 265. I've never been back over 200 since I came below. And right now, if I'm guessing, 185. I do look a lot bigger with my hair, I must admit. And my goatee being so long, my face looks a lot bigger, but, you know, I also say I have a big brain, I guess, so yes, True, see, you know, True's, wait a minute, in a cast for 6 months with a broken leg. Spending 6 months in a full leg cast has messed me up. Yeah, that would mess you up. That would mess you up. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, you're welcome for keeping you company. Thank you for keeping me company as well. I should be able... No, maybe I won't. I'll have to look at the docs. I was hoping I would be able to get a pairing, but they don't. I'll try to look at it later and see what I can come up with for you, FE for Life, because that's a great question. That's something I should look at, that pairing. You're still in therapy, True? Yeah. Dude, I spent a decade, a dozen years in therapies. And PTSD never went away, no matter how much I talked to people either. They just tried to keep giving me more stuff to take. So, and it's not fun. Don't go down that road. What's going on, Louisville? Welcome in. I've done a portfolio video, but most people know that almost all of my assets I owned, I sold when we hit this local top, or around the local top, when we were starting to consolidate, when we broke through key levels. The only thing I really hold right now is XRP Healthcare, the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and then I have some stuff, smaller amounts, but the majority of stuff I decided to profit because I was holding everything for over a year. The only thing I wasn't willing really to part ways with, because it's unfinished business, and there's a lot more that has unfinished business, don't get me wrong, but I decided to leverage what I had made in crypto, and I leveraged it into the mining stocks, and I took all that profit, and I ended up turning all the profit I had over a year when I sold out of the ones I told everybody of, and I put it into the mining stocks, and it's shredding. It's shredding. I don't know how else to put it. I've made about $3,000 so far in the mining sector since it started the up rally. So it's been, I'm a very unpredictable trader unless I know I'm a long holding something. So, and I knew, once I get over a year, I have more flexibility, is my point. Once I have holdings over a year, I have much more flexibility. XRP absolutely broke the neckline. Look at EMDR. EMDR. Let me write this down. I'm going to definitely look into this because this is my #1 struggle is PTSD and the fact I can't regulate serotonin. And when I was tested, and they did them for years, tests to try to fix it, but nothing worked. So I said, you guys are just trying to... Anyhow, I scored at the 25% level of a normal functioning person with serotonin. So that's interesting. EMBR. No. Wait a minute. Was that not EMBR? What did you say? EMBR? I think I'm spelling it wrong now. Because that's a ring. I'll have to look at it. Yeah, somebody will say something. EMDR. Thank you so much, XGP. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for 2 months now with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Thank you so much for re-upping. I greatly appreciate that. EMDR. Therapy. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. EMDR therapy is a mental health treatment technique. This method involves moving your eyes a specific way while you process traumatic memories. EMDR's goal is to help you heal from trauma or other distressing life experiences. That would be great, because nothing's ever been able to stop me from replaying the accident in my head. It's like it was yesterday. Driving down 22 Mile in Hayes, or 21, and once you pass 21 Mile, the lane merged, and there was a CVS or a Walgreens or whatever on the right hand side, and I went through the light. Guy runs a red light, few cars behind me, and he had nowhere to go because the lane ended, and he decided, instead of just, and think about this, instead of going up into a ditch that wasn't even a far ditch, he was in a Dodge Ram, big truck, instead of taking the brunt of responsibility, he decided to go in between me and another car, and he hit me, and I was at a dead stop, and it was projected he was doing about 50. So he hit me doing 50 at a dead stop. Holy shit, Octopi, so did I. My parents' first house when they were married, I lived on 21 in Tilch. How old are you? I was born in 1983. I grew up on that exact same area, 21 in Tilch. I swear to God. That was my first house my parents lived in, on 21 in Tilch. So, and when he hit me, it squeezed me into the car in front of me, so I literally got sandwiched, and I broke my back, yada, yada, yada. So, 42, I lived on Susan. Oh my God. All right, so, we literally were neighbors, because we were literally close to each other. We didn't move out of that house until I was 5 or 6, so we would have overlapped, and that we lived in the same subdivision. What a small freaking world. That is unbelievable. Wow. And my aunt and my uncle, my aunt who passed away this year, she used to live on 21 in Tilch in that area. But yeah, this is great. Thank you for this. I'm gonna read into this after I get done too. Thank you for that, my friend. And I know we've been on for an hour, and I gotta help Julie, but I want to wrap this up in a good way. So in the 15-minute, like some have been saying, we are in fact pushing out. To get that confirmation in the 15-minute, you got to get over 5.2. Well, that's XRP USDT chart. Let's just look at the XRP USD chart. So on this chart, to get breakout, 5.2. Okay, so it's pretty close. 5.215. So if we're at 5.216, it's confirming a breakout in the 15, and there is room here. This was a descending consolidation. This could rebound in a nice way here, in a very nice way. So yeah, just pay attention to XRP. Remember, the biggest deal with XRP right now is to stay over this cup and handle formation, and it's still very bullish if it does. The weekly golden cross is still not invalidated. And with this recent move up this week, it's going to help save it. So when it becomes invalidated, the 20 would recross the 50, and then you have an invalidation. It doesn't mean it has to be a permanent invalidation, but you don't want it. You don't want it. It sure is FE4 Live. That inverted head and shoulders is 100% still in play. 100%. Yep, you're right. That's why FE4 Life, that's why I think that $1.18 target is firm. And then the technical target on a breakout of the cup and handle. And after this, I'm going to go. I need to help Julie, because she's going to need me help move stuff around. But we're looking at about $1.97 is the real target out of the 78-month consolidation. Let's just call it for what it is. Out of this 78-month consolidation, that's the real target, if we can get up there. And then if you can break beyond that, you've got bigger moves, yada, yada, yada. 48 cents, yep, 48 cents is a beautiful target if we break down. Because, in fact, if we break down 48.57, beautiful FE4 Life, beautiful, beautiful. And then XLM on the way out. And just hashtag be better, do better in the comments. And then if you need anything else, video description below. I don't really feel like talking about all that stuff again, because I don't feel like promoting anything at all, not even my own stuff. So, XLM right now, we need to get over 10.92, and then we've got the door open. These look like bull flags, though. I kid you not. The market's looking more bull flaggy than not. And like I said, I think a lot of people got tricked out right now if they sold. Listen, guys, if you sold up here, and I'm not talking XRP, but let's just say XLM comes up here and then it breaks down, right? And then you bought it and it comes up here and you've seen a breakdown and you wanted to sell. I can't kill you for that. What I'm saying though, in the short term, anybody who sold right now after the drop, there's a lot of people who decided to sell out of crypto, even ones who have a lot of knowledge, after the drop when they didn't even get any. They sat through the whole drop and said, "Oh, I see a bigger drop, I'm getting out." That's the wrong way to do it. If you're taking profits, you do it during the signal, not at the end phase. Right now, we've had a bottoming phase. You got to wait to see it play out now. Now, the next time you should be thinking about selling is if it broke this and you're like, okay, it's coming all the way down to 4.4. Okay, that's a great time. But until then, don't sell your short. Do not sell yourself short. But thank you, everybody. Thank you all, JW. I'll tell Julie called her a superstar too. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Thank you for spending an hour with me. It meant a lot to me. Mark, thank you for being in Tom's Army for 2 months at the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News, and FE4 Life, thank you for being month 1 in Tom's Army. Simon, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I greatly appreciate that. And Jessica Garcia, love, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP589 Moon Badge. I will definitely update everybody in the morning, and I'll let everybody know what's going on. Thank you all for the support. It means the world to me.